Direct from the hand, Mario lets you possess your friends.
And Sony doesn't want you to have any.
This is Screenplay Daily News.
I forgot our theme song. Do it.
It's Friday the 16th of June. I'm Steph.
I'm Nick, and here's what we have deemed newsworthy.
Mario Odyssey is getting co-op, but it's not quite as you would expect. The second player is a hat. Hat player can collect objects, move around, and defeat enemies, but pretty much is a support.
I've always wanted to be a hat. This is really exciting news for me.
Really?
No, of course not. This is really stupid.
Didn't they take the hat out of Monopoly?
You reckon there's a copyright lawsuit coming? It is
No,
Nintendo.
I just think that it might prove that a hat is not an object that people want to be playing anymore.
Oh, right. You mean, Monopoly removed the hat from the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
No, maybe they kept the hat, but they moved the wheelbarrow.
Right, we should probably have checked this before we started recording, but regardless, you don't play as a wheelbarrow in Mario, you play as a hat. Right, so this is kind of like the Mario Galaxy thing, where the second player could use the Wiimote and point at like stars and shit.
Yeah,
and
you're
collect.
kind of the second fiddle to the main player, assisting them with things and pointing stuff out.
Would we call it co-op?
Yeah, I think co-op is misleading, but I think it should be co-op. It should be assist.
It should be support.
Support.
Like a MOBA. Everything should be like a MOBA. But you have nieces who you often corrupt with video games.
It's true.
Is this the kind of thing that that they would like doing?
Yeah, definitely. Because one's 5 and one's 7, and while they're like mentally capable of playing the same sort of games at the same level, there's kind of like a physical difference.
There's
like
a dexterity
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think having something a little bit simpler that keeps the second person in the game and contributing is probably good for the young'uns.
Yeah, because the older one can be like, it's me, a Mario. And the younger one can be like, I'm a goddamn hat. Moving on now, and Microsoft and Sony are having a PASAG war of words. It's all over cross-platform play. Basically, Microsoft is all for it for games like Minecraft and Rocket League, but Sony doesn't want a bar of it. So this came up recently over E3 with Rocket League, where Rocket League is like, we're a Mac, Linux, Windows, Xbox, and all of these platforms, and Switch, all of these platforms can play with each other. And then Sony's like, yeah, but sorry guys, you can't actually play with us.
Don't want to come to the party.
Yeah, which is such a weird thing to say. So the reasoning that they gave, there was an interview with the global head of sales and marketing for PlayStation, Jim Ryan, and he said, we have a contract with the people who go online with us, that we look after them, and they are within the PlayStation curated universe. Exposing what, in many cases, are children to external influences we have no ability to manage or look after, it's something we have to think about very carefully. Do you buy this reason?
Sounds like spin to me.
It does, Stephanie. Do you believe that the PSN is a safer place than like the Xbox or Nintendo's platform?
No, not at all. I think, I was worried for Microsoft when they initially were like, we're gonna put it on everything and we're gonna like let everyone play with everyone, and I wasn't sure how that was gonna work out for them, but I think it's the future. It really is. Because I think particularly as online gaming is becoming something that's just so much more prevalent and people really want to connect online and play competitively.
Yeah.
I think you need to be able to have cross-platform play.
Yeah, it's such a weird reasoning that you would go, oh, we don't want to, it's basically broadening your audience, because it's like, your friend can have one thing and you can have the other, and you can go, oh, I wouldn't buy Rocket League because I have no one to play with because my friends are all on Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, why would you shut yourself down?
Break down the walls, not build them back up.
Yeah, let the kids break down the walls and abuse other kids because they didn't score a goal. And it's Nintendo. Like you're worried about people like abusing kids on a Nintendo platform. Nintendo, you need like a 70-digit code to add a friend just so you can play a game with them. You can't even use a webcam to see them. Like, they're totally safe. And Microsoft own Minecraft, so it's in their best interest to not make a weird, creepy universe for Sony kids to be like messed with.
I don't feel like Sony should be painted as a weird, creepy universe.
Well, Jim Ryan's doing a pretty good job at it.
All right, well, let's move on to our next story. Devolver Digital had big plans for an E3 festival, but ended up losing a chunk of cash. This year, Devolver wanted to extend their presence to the public by renting the lot right next to their usual spot as well, and have a cool hipster games festival. The city of Los Angeles, however, ended up denying them the necessary permits, leaving them $100K out of pocket. So, you've been to E3, did you?
No, I haven't, and thanks for rubbing it in. I've been to GDC, not E3. You constantly have been to E3.
that's right.
I'm just like the scum who are watching us now. Except for those scum who have been to E3.
All right, well, let me paint a picture for you. So,
Good on you.
Devolver Digital are kind of the cool kids at the back of the bus at the E3 festival. Everyone's all packed into this convention center with these big, massive booths, and Devolver have removed themselves from that and set up a cool kind of party atmosphere in a car park across the road.
Yeah, it's like a tailgate party or something.
Yeah, they have these cool like caravans, and you can go into each caravan and play demos of each of the game and like chill with the developers, and everyone's all relaxed in chairs.
This is exactly the thing that Sony didn't want with the cross-platform play. Just walking into strangers' caravans.
They have like those gourmet hot dog things, and you can just get drinks, and they have kegs and stuff, and like for a games journo, this is way too cool for me.
It's where you went and chilled out. Because you have all the
totally
hecticness inside and then outside, funky hot dogs and strangers' caravans.
Yeah, that's right. But this year at E3, they had opened it up to the public as well. So there was 15,000 extra people there, just, members of the public. So I think Devolver were their answer to that was, well, why don't we, rent the lot next to us and have like a full-on games festival?
Just basically like hippie E3.
Yeah, it would have been awesome. Like, what a cool idea.
It's great. Why didn't it happen?
Damn the man.
The man did it?
Well, the city of Los Angeles, which sounds like the man to me.
That sounds pretty manny. How did they end up losing 100K? Was it really expensive hot dogs?
No, well, so that space that they rented for the public for their cool party, that was 100K, but then the city of Los Angeles said, we're not going to give you the permits to have your party there. You can just park cars.
That's so dodgy. You can't do anything else. I mean, so Devolver and E3 as a broader idea have always had a bit of a like contentious relationship, right?
Yeah.
Because like even with you saying that they have that funky caravan house party outside, what you're functionally doing there is removing people from E3 and putting them in a different space where it's not like inside the convention.
And even when you talk to them, they have this mentality of just like, we don't need that, man. We don't need to be in there with all those corporate dudes and their big like, who's got the bigger booth? Like, we don't need that. We just want to play games and have fun. You're like, yeah, like it's like a cult. You kind of get drawn into it.
Well, apparently you have. I would know all this if I was ever allowed to go to E3. Who do I talk to about that here? Is it you, Pete?
Sure.
Pete says yes! In other news, Microsoft have said that there will be at least 5 new games added every month to their Xbox Game Pass program. But how many games will leave, I hear you ask? None until November, according to Xbox, then probably all of them.
More news on Destiny 2 was revealed. Things you'll be able to do in Destiny 2, play more Destiny. Things you won't be able to do, host private matches at launch or play ranked PvP at all. But you know what? No one who plays a shooter wants to do ranked competitive modes anyway, so I'm sure the internet will take it well.
Grand Theft Auto modding tool Open4 has been shut down by a legal move from Take-Two's lawyers. Open4 is one of the major modding tools for GTA 4 and 5, but it has been hit with a cease and desist for allowing people to bypass security features and modify the game. And here's what's been happening on other screens. We praised him for District 9, we pretended Elysium was good, and we were finally defeated by Chappie. Will N.BLOMPKAMP's next effort buck his downward trend? Maybe not, but at least it's on Steam. The director has opened an experimental new film studio called Oats Studio, which is focused on creating short films funded in part by the audience who consumes them. His chosen launch platform? Steam, famous film distribution platform.
Well, it is now. When asked about his platform choice at E3, he said, you think of iTunes, but what you don't get as readily as you can on Steam is like the first film we're going to put out, or any of the films we put out, will release the raw footage. We'll release all the 3D aspects we used to make the visual effects. So it's DLC for films.
Yeah, apparently their first short, Raka, is available now on Steam, and then the 3D models, art, and script can be purchased for an additional fee. Would you want to buy a script for money that is just like a PDF? Isn't the joy of that stuff something you can hold?
I mean, if I was a massive film nerd and it wasn't too expensive, maybe. But
just watch the film. The whole script is in the film. It's all there. People even say it out for you. You don't need to do the hard work of reading something.
I mean, he's trying to get people on board with the creation process. But yeah, I think it's different when it's a game because you want to, test the beta and then you play the whole thing afterwards. You don't want to like watch the movie before you watch the movie.
I smell another Chappie. All right, that is it for today's news. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel this afternoon for our first play of ARMS.
You can follow Screenplay in all of these places. Details are in the description below.
I'm Nick.
I'm Steph.
And we will see you every weekday for the rest of your lives.
But for now, we'll leave you with this sick dance-off between Sonic and Crash.
Oh, go Crash. He's doing that thing where he just points at his junk.
Sonic seems to be like not putting his heart into it? Or is it a dance-off and so he was waiting for his turn?
It's probably more that, but Sonic, I don't think you could argue, has put his heart into anything for the last 15 years.
I mean, his shoes are very big. Is that kind of hampering him in some way? I feel like all Sonic does is bob up and down. You know what? He knows it's no longer his time.
Yeah,
It's time for the crash to rise.
it is. It was always that time. So,
Shut
are
the
you
fuck
excited about Spider-Man at all?
Like, I am, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what? That can be your thing.
That's my thing. My thing is Spider-Man. Your thing is choosing between these two games.